Hello everybody, my name is Sinkara and today I combined 3 Cyberstrike structure decks into one pretty amazing Cyberdark deck, which is pretty awesome, and that's what I'm going to show off to you today. So this deck is combining 3 of the Cyberstrike structure decks. Now be sure to stick around to the end when I show off the main combo of this deck, which will allow you to summon Cyberdark End Dragon in only a single turn, which, you know, I don't have to say is pretty flippin' awesome, and it's really easy to do, just a 2-card combo. So before we get into that, let's get into the deck profile. So first of all, for our main deck monsters, we start off with 1 Attachment Cyburn. Attachment Cyburn is a light dragon monster, which are both pretty important to this deck, and the equipped monster gains 600 attack points, plus he has a 1600 point gain for any of the normal machine Cyberdark monsters. Next for our Cyberdarks, we have 2 Cyberdark Chimera. This is one of the main monsters of the deck. We have 3 Cyberdark Cannon, 3 Cyberdark Claw, and finally we have 1 of each of the main Cyberdarks, 1 Cyberdark Keel, 1 Horn, and 1 Edge. So Cyberdark Chimera is one of the main monsters in this deck and is very important to the strategy. This guy will first of all add a power bond to our hand with his effect. He allows us to use monsters from the graveyard for a fusion summon, and he sends Cyberdark monsters to the graveyard whenever he goes to the graveyard. For Cyberdark Cannon and Cyberdark Claw, these guys are our main searchers. These guys are both pretty amazing. They're dragon monsters, so they can be equipped with these regular Cyberdark machines. Cyberdark Cannon will add any of your machine Cyberdark monsters to your hand, and Cyberdark Claw will add any of the Cyberdark spell or traps from your deck to your hand. They also have other pretty good abilities when they're equipped, and when they are sent to the graveyard while being equipped, they'll either grab things back from the graveyard, or if Cannon's effect lets you draw a card, so these guys are pretty awesome in their own right. And finally, for the 3 Cyberdark monsters, they all have their own individual effects, dealing extra damage when they attack, and of course when they're summoned, they can be equipped with a level 3 dragon monster from your graveyard, boosting their attack points even further. Next up, we'll be going into the Cyber Dragon engine, which is very simple. We run 3 Cyber Dragon Core and 2 regular Cyber Dragons. So the regular Cyber Dragons aren't as important to the strategy, however they are light monsters, which again will come up later, but Cyber Dragons are pretty great. The reason we run 2 is to actually use the machine duplication combo, which I went over in the previous video and will briefly go over again today. But for Cyber Dragon Core, this guy, when he's normal summoned, can add any cyber spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is pretty ridiculous and very important to the strategy, which is why we run 3 of him. That's it for the main deck monsters. Next we'll go into the spells, which take up most of the deck. We only have 17 monsters, which is a pretty good number for a main deck. Next for the spells, we have 3 Cyberdark Realm. This card will add any of our Cyberdark monsters from our deck to the hand, and also gives us an extra normal summon for Cyberdarks, which is pretty awesome as well. We have 3 Cybernetic Horizon. This card, again, this is one of the main 2 cards in the Cyberdark End strategy. This will allow us to send 2 cards to the graveyard, 1 from the hand, 1 to the deck, and will then add any Cyberdark monster from our deck to the hand, and also send our Cyber End Dragon from the extra deck to the graveyard. So this card does a whole lot and is really good, which is why we run 3 and 3 Realm to grab any monster as well. Next up, we got 2 Cyberdark Infernos to finish off the Cyberdark spell trap. This card provides protection to our Cyberdark monsters, and also provides some pretty nice combos with returning cards to get the effects of your Dragon-type Cyberdarks going off. Next, for another main searcher of the deck, we have 3 Cyber Emergency. This card will add any Cyber Dragon monster from the deck to the hand, so of course that means Cyber Dragon or Cyber Dragon Core. Pretty much any time you use this card, you'll be grabbing your Cyber Dragon Core with it. Next up is our fusion spells. We run 2 Overload Fusion, plus 2 Power Bond. That's all you really need. We have searches for Power Bond, so we only need 2 of them, and Overload Fusion is a good backup to summon either our Cyberdarks or even our Chimera Tech Overdragon will be the main one they use with Overload Fusion. With Power Bond is also a very powerful card that doubles the original attack of the of the monster summoned with it, and of course with Cyberdark Chimera it can be added and then used just like Overload Fusion can. Okay, next, for finishing off our spells, we have a limiter removal, a machine duplication, and going into the traps we have Cybernetic Revolution. These cards are pretty awesome. Limiter removal doubles the attack of all machines on the field, so it's an ODK card. Machine duplication you actually use with Cyber Dragon Core to summon 2 regular Cyber Dragons. If you don't know, Cyber Dragon Core is treated as Cyber Dragon while it's on the field or in the graveyard, and it has 500 attacks, so when you use Machine Duplication on it, you can summon the original 2 Cyber Dragons, which is a pretty awesome combo. Finally, Cybernetic Revolution will allow us to instantly go into our Cyber End Dragon straight from the extra deck, 4,000 attack points, piercing battle damage, but it won't be able to attack directly. Now, the reason I'm showing these for you at the same time is because if you prefer, you can swap out one or both of these for more limiter removals. It's probably better to have 3 limiter removals rather than these. The reason I chose to go for these instead is because I prefer the diversity, and I think they're really cool cards. I really enjoy the Machine Duplication Core combo, and just Cybernetic Revolution to instantly summon Cyber End is a pretty awesome strategy. I mean, I enjoy it and I like the diversity, but if you prefer, and it's probably better, you can go for 3 limiter removals instead. Or swap out either one for an extra limiter removal. Finally, wrapping up the traps, we have 2 Cyberdark Invasion. This card is a pretty powerful card. We'll get extra equip spells on our Cyberdark, specifically Cyberdark End, or if the equip spell is destroyed, you can just re-equip it with Cyberdark Invasion. And of course, it allows us to destroy an opponent's card once per turn, and it's a trap card, which lets us do it during our opponent's turn and interrupt some of their plays. And finally, for the last of the traps, we of course run 3 Infinite Impermanence. I shouldn't need to tell you how good this card is. It's a meta card, very powerful, so glad that it comes with this deck, and it just allows us to negate monster effects, spells and traps. It just negates everything that can be played from the hand. So that's it for the main deck. It's a pretty straightforward deck, 17 monsters, only 6 traps, and the rest are spells, which is, you know, that's a very nice ratio of cards that we like to have. Finally, for the extra deck is very simple. The Cyber Strike structure deck comes with 5 fusion monsters, and we're running 3 of those structure decks. I'll let you do the math on that one. Okay, so that's the deck profile. Now let's go into the main combo of this deck. So this deck, like I said, has a 2-card combo that will allow us to go into Cyberdark End Dragon in 1 turn, and this combo is very, very easy to pull off. The cards aren't too specific, so it's pretty simple to get off. Okay, so in order to pull off this combo, what you're going to need in your hand is any one of these cards plus any one of these cards. Now, just to note that these can also be substituted for a Cyber Dragon Core instead. So, any one of these plus any one of these. Now, the main ones that you'll want are Cybernetic Horizon and Cyberdark Chimera. The others are more or less to add that. So the Cyber Dragon Core will simply add our Cybernetic Horizon to the hand, and Cyber Emergency can simply add Cyber Dragon Core to then add Cybernetic Horizon. So the main one you want is a Cybernetic Horizon, which can be grabbed with any one of these cards. Plus, you'll need any one of these. So Cyberdark Cannon will add Cyberdark Chimera to our hand. This is the main one we want. Or if you're unlucky and don't get Cyberdark Chimera in your hand, you can have substituted for any light monster, that being Attachment Cyber, Cyber Dragon, or Cyber Dragon Core. So once you've got either of these in your hand, you're also going to need 1 extra spell or trap, which shouldn't be hard considering the deck mainly consists of spells and traps. That'll be easy enough. Alright, let's go right into the combo. Okay, so, like I said, this is a 3-card combo. These 2 are the main ones you want to use. The other cards are really just to add these to your hand, or you can substitute Chimera for any light monster. It doesn't really matter. But preferably you want Attachment Cyber. So here's the main strategy. First, you activate your Cybernetic Horizon. You're going to use this card to discard your Cyberdark Chimera. Then, from your deck, you want to send your Attachment Cyber to the graveyard. And then finally, with Cybernetic Horizon, you're going to add your Cyberdark Claw from your deck to your hand. So once you've done all that, Cybernetic Horizon's final effect will be to send a fusion monster to your graveyard. You will always want to send your Cyber End Dragon, which is very important to get that bad boy in the graveyard. Once that's all resolved, you activate the effect of Cyberdark Chimera in the graveyard, which will allow you to send any Cyberdark from your deck to the graveyard. It does not matter which card you send to the graveyard, so long as it is a Cyberdark monster. You may, however, want to keep the main 3 Cyberdarks in your deck, just so that you can summon the regular Cyberdark Dragon later. However, that really is up to you. So I'm just going to send a Cyberdark Cannon. It doesn't really matter, just whichever one you find first. Next up, you're going to activate the effect of the Cyberdark Claw that you just added. This card will then discard itself, allowing you to add a Cyberdark spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You're going to go for Cyberdark Realm. Then you activate Cyberdark Realm, which will allow you to add a Cyberdark monster from your deck to your hand. Now, just to note that if your starting hand had Cyberdark Cannon instead of Cyberdark Chimera, then don't add Cannon, just add Chimera. However, if you started with anything that wasn't Cyberdark Cannon, you're going to want to add Cannon right now. So once you've added Cannon, discard Cannon by his effect, then you can add your Cyberdark Chimera from your deck to your hand. Finally, normal summon Cyberdark Chimera. Use his effect to discard your spell or trap from your hand and add Power Bond from your deck to the hand. Once you've added Power Bond, Cyberdark Chimera's second effect will allow you to use monsters from the graveyard as fusion material. So activate your Power Bond, fuse your Cyberdark Chimera on the field and all the other Cyberdarks in your graveyard, which should add up to 5. Make sure you have 5 Cyberdarks in your graveyard by the end of this combo, or at least by you get to this point. Fuse all 5 of them together, and then summon your Cyberdarkness Dragon. Now, once Cyberdarkness Dragon is special summoned, you can equip him. Well, first of all, he's going to gain 2,000 attack points by the effect of Power Bond. Then you equip him with Cyber End Dragon. Now, you may want to stop here. This card now has 8,000 attack points. If you're going second and your opponent has no back row or nothing that can stop you, by all means attack with Cyberdarkness Dragon, and then afterwards, if your opponent's still alive, tribute him for Cyberdark End. However, if they have scary back row, scary cards, or this is simply the first turn and you can't attack, tribute your Cyberdarkness Dragon equipped with Cyber End, special summon Cyberdark End Dragon, and then finally, with his effect, equip him with Attachment Cyber. This will give him an extra 600 attack, putting him on 5,600. Next turn, he'll be able to attack twice, and also, Cyberdark End Dragon is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, which makes him a pretty hard card to get rid of. I mean, it's hard to get over 5,000 attack points, and he's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So this card is very powerful, very hard to get rid of, and on the next turn you can equip him with another monster. He'll be able to attack twice, which is pretty ridiculous. So yeah, that's the one-turn Cyberdark End strategy. Only needs 2 cards, very simple. Now, another card that you might want to have, or that you really do want to have, is Cyberdark Invasion. So if you go ahead and set that after you've summoned your Cyberdark End Dragon, then on the next turn, on your opponent's turn even, you can use Invasion's effect to send your equipped Attachment Cyber and destroy one of their cards, preferably interrupting one of their plays while you're at it. And then, on top of that, once Attachment Cyber is sent to the graveyard while it was equipped, you can then special summon a Dragon or Machine Cyber Monster from your graveyard. So what you want to do then is summon Cyberdarkness Dragon, and then when Cyberdarkness Dragon is special summoned, not when he's fusion summoned, but whenever he's special summoned, he can be equipped with a monster from the graveyard. That being Cyber End Dragon, which will boost his attack points up to 6,000, which is ridiculous on its own, and it gives you an extra equip spell on the field to use with Cyberdark Invasion, and then of course next turn you can use your Cyberdark End to equip Attachment Cyburn, and then of course you can use Cyberdark Invasion to send Attachment Cyburn, which will then special summon said Cannon or Claw, or you can simply use Cyberdark Invasion to equip your Attachment Cyburn, and then use Cyberdark End to equip one monster from your opponent's graveyard, assuming that they have one, or you have no monsters in your graveyard. This will allow your Cyberdark End to make 2 attacks with 6,600 attack points, and then of course you have Cyber Darkness with 6,000 attack points. So that's pretty ridiculous. That's a lot of damage. That is a total of 19,200 points of damage with those 3 attacks, which is insane. Even if your opponent has a monster, they probably won't survive that. But that relies on having Cyberdark Invasion, which just allows you to keep swapping out your attachment Cyber and bringing him back, sending him, bringing him back, and just constantly summoning crap from your graveyard, which is pretty awesome, if I may say so myself. So that's it for this deck. That's the main combo of this deck, is to just run those 2 cards, your Chimera and your Cybernetic Horizon, in order to get out Cyberdark End Dragon. And of course, if you don't have those cards, there are other combos to play as well, which are just your main Cyberdark combos, trying to get all the Cyberdarks in your graveyard to go for Cyberdark or Cyberdarkness Dragon, and then of course you have your backup Chimera Tech Over Dragon to nuke the field, because that's what he does. If you want to learn more about how to play Cyberdarks, you're still unsure about how this deck runs without that combo, then by all means, please check out my previous video last week in which I explained how to play Cyberstrike structure deck. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deck. I hope you enjoy, if you build it for yourself, then be sure to let me know down in the comments. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you have any other awesome Cyberdark combos that I didn't point out in this video. And thank you all so very much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the deck. And thanks once again. I said that 3 times. My name has been Sankara. And until next time, see ya. Oh, I forgot, satisfy me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to be notified of when another video comes out. We're still doing more videos on the Cyberstrike structure deck, so you don't want to miss those. They're going to be pretty awesome.